Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is, holy cow, it's Thursday, the 1st of August. It's National Raspberry Cream Pie Day.
I've never
Yum.
had that before.
Sounds good. National Girlfriends Day. Ooh, I got some calls to make today. Just kidding.
You better not.
Can It Forward Day. So if you can a bunch of items, this is the day you give those goodies out to people. Child Free Day. What in the world? I don't know how to pronounce that. We'll just move on to this one. Planner Day. National Promise to Care Day. Play Ball Day, Round Resounding Day, Scout Scarf Day, Spider-Man Day, Startup Day across America, World Astronomers Day, World Lung Cancer Day, World Wide Web Day, Yorkshire Day, Homemade Pie Day. Ooh, I'll go for that too. Respect for Parents Day. Let's just stop on that one because that's a good one. That's a really good one. There's a bunch more. If you want to read them all, they're in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. And I've got a Dear John letter to get to. We'll do that today in a bit. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. According to new research, the average person spends 1,460 hours every year feeling tired.
Yeah.
To break that down, that works out to 4 hours of kind of tiredness each and every day. Want more? The survey carried out in the U.S. also found that a third of us always or often feel a little bit tired, even after a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Perhaps as a result, 32% of respondents said they find themselves procrastinating chores when they feel tired. And 30% said they sometimes simply stay in bed. 21% shared that they end up skipping exercise, and 20% avoid cooking. 58% of those surveyed agreed that being tired often keeps them from enjoying life. Heidi's nodding her head on a lot of this. So you're kind of tired? Is that what you're trying to say?
I was just complaining about that this morning. I'm just so tired today.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. I'm really not as tired. I probably should get more sleep because there are times that I'm a little groggy.
Well, when you sit down, you are
Yeah,
asleep within
that's the thing.
seconds. So I know you're tired.
So
you
at
just
the end of
don't
the day,
realize
it doesn't take much for me to fall asleep. So I
Yeah.
probably am tired. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signing, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Did you know? Brought to you by GenesisGoldIRA.com. Heidi, did you know that astronauts in space are exposed to the same amount of radiation as 150 to 6,000 chest x-rays? That is a big factor, by the way.
That's a big difference
Somewhere
there.
between 150 to 6,000. When astronauts leave Earth, they face a range of factors that affect them physically that include an intense amount of radiation that they are exposed to. According to NASA, it's the equivalent of anywhere between 150 to 6,000 chest
Might want
x-rays.
to narrow that down a little
Yeah, you'd
more.
think you'd be able to dial that in a little bit more. 150 to 6,000. That's a big factor. We don't know everything, but now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by RadioSavings.com. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have taken their playful banter to the big screen in the new Deadpool and Wolverine. Reynolds, he's Deadpool, right?
Ryan Reynolds? Yes, he is.
He joked about his pal Jackman's real-life divorce. So they've had a lot of fun, like poking back and forth, and I think it's all pretty lighthearted for the most part.
Yeah, for sure it is.
But with the blockbuster success of the movie Deadpool and Wolverine, Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe has become the first film franchise in history to cross the $30 billion mark at the global box office. So they've done quite well. And this is the biggest ever for an R-rated release, the 8th highest of all time. estimated somewhere around $400 million they made over the weekend. So, yeah, they did okay. And a bikini worn by Carrie Fisher in Star Wars sold for $175,000. We talked about that leading up to it. So it did really well. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now your scoop of the day comes your way courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. Guess what is starting this week, Heidi?
What?
It's Thursday today, and it says National Clown Week begins Thursday. So today,
I didn't know there was such a thing.
Is the start of National Clown Week. So if you see a bunch more clowns this week, you know why. I don't. You know how many clowns I see in an average week?
None.
Pretty close to zero. Every once in a while, I'll bump into one here or there. One of my favorite things ever. We were in the hospital when your uncle was sick.
Oh yeah, and
there was a
funny
guy dressed as a clown that walked in, and we were all sitting in like the cafeteria, and everybody was pretty somber because Uncle wasn't doing well.
Yeah.
And I go, take a look at this clown, and everybody turns around, and it was an actual clown.
It was an actual clown. It was funny.
And they laughed, and I even smiled thinking about it because it was really cool to be able to change the tone of that whole entire day. So, and I think clowns are awesome, by the way. Some people are freaked out by clowns. I just think they're really cool. All right, many of us, I'm sure, are watching the Olympics from the comfort of a couch, snarfing down a bag of chips, wondering, why can't I look like that? While it's natural to compare ourselves to others, experts say we should cut ourselves some slack. Dr. Amadeus Mason, I think, I probably got it all wrong, medical director for USA Track and Field, pointed out that most of the competitors spend their entire lives training for this one moment. That means it would be unrealistic to expect to look like an Olympian, but it might be a good thing to still enjoy the games and become inspired by them. Athletes don't make it to the Olympics by accident. They identify a goal, they assess what it would require for them mentally and physically to achieve it, and then they address their obstacles and limitations. Mason suggests that we do the same with our personal goals, but we recognize the destination will be different. For instance, if you're a working mom, it might even be considered a lofty goal to work out for 30 minutes every day, 5 days a week. Remember, it's easy to put an Olympian on a pedestal, but working out is their full-time job. So keep that in mind. Scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
And it's time right now for Dear John Letters.
Dear John, dear John.
All right, here we go. Dear John, I don't know if you guys remember, by the way, last week I was asking for something lighthearted. Thanks a lot. I don't have a lighthearted one. Here we go. Dear John, I'm concerned about my brother. The last few years, he's been pretty scatterbrained. He will make plans with our family and completely forget about the plans. He recently lost his job, but I don't know if that's related to this or not. He went through a divorce a few years ago, and we noticed this started around that same time. Sadly, I don't know if this started before the divorce or after, but in that general time frame. It might have even been a contributing factor. There have been many little things that add up to me being concerned. So many things that seem pretty rude when he makes plans and then forgets them or changes his mind at the very last minute. But he also tried to buy a car from a friend of mine. They worked on the details for a few days, and then the friend finally reached out to me to let me know that she needed to just sell the car to somebody else because my brother quit replying to her. Later, my brother told me he was upset that my friend, quote, sold it out from under him. But I explained that, hey, he hadn't heard from you in a few days, so what should he have done? What should I do? Several other family members have also noticed. We've asked if we can help somehow, but he doesn't think there's a problem. What do you do when someone you love is experiencing something like this? Signed, Sad Little Brother. Well,
yikes.
It is tough to go through that. And I have, and again, I don't know where this is coming from, but I have 2 different grandmothers that were struggling with dementia. And I remember the early stages of that were simple little things where like they couldn't find stuff. And, and my, again, everybody who has an experience with that is going to have something different. I don't know if that's what this is, if it's an early stage of that. I am not a doctor. I don't know if you know that.
Just play one on the radio.
Yeah, I don't even play one on the radio. But so I don't know if it's something like that. But you're talking about some things that have changed in your brother's life, a divorce, now a job change. So I think those kind of things could probably be a contributing factor to this. Or like you said, they could be a result of this too.
Yeah.
Like there's really, I don't know. There's no way to tell. But one of the things that you could do as a brother who loves your brother is maybe give him some grace, which would be nice. That would be really good. But also maybe remind him as you're leading up to things, especially if you've had like a history of, we've got plans on Sunday and then Sunday gets here and everybody shows up but the brother. Maybe if you just reach out and say, hey, I am so excited to see you on Sunday. I cannot wait to see you on Sunday. And then, just remind him, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and a couple of, not necessarily every single day, but leading up to it, and give him some reasons to be excited to get together.
But we don't know if this person is making everyone change their whole schedule to do stuff with them, and then they're the ones that don't show up. That would be incredibly frustrating when everybody is trying to accommodate that particular person.
Well, and that's what it sounds like here, because it says they make plans, and then everybody else shows up, and then they forgot about it, or they change their mind at the last minute.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
And again, that is very difficult to go through something like that, but you never know what else is going on, and again, if your brother...
But I mean, it'd be one thing if it was once in a while. It sounds like it's a lot.
It does. And again, now said recently he recently lost his job. I don't know if that's related to this or not. So the other thing you do is maybe try to help him find a job if he's looking for a job.
But do you want to recommend somebody for a job who's not showing up when they're supposed to show up? I mean, that's where it's a catch-22, because now your name is attached to...
And there was a thing mentioned where he was trying to buy a car from this guy's friend, and then she had to call him and say, hey, your brother's not getting back to me. I'm selling it to somebody else.
That's tough. That's a tough situation.
If you're going through something in your life, the rest of the world around you does not have to wait for you. They can move on. They could go, hey, sorry, I didn't know what was going on. No communication means to me, I'm not interested. So if they moved on and, the world kept rotating without you making a decision, don't be surprised if that decision doesn't involve you.
Yeah.
So if you would like to chime in, this would be a great one to get some advice on. I would love it if you would give some advice. You can do that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. And I'm going to throw out a plea once again for some lighthearted fun. I don't even remember what last week was, but it was pretty heavy as well. We've had heavy letters lately. Come on, man. Summertime. Let's have some fun, lighthearted letters. So if you've got something silly going on in your life, reach out. I'll gladly answer that. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
During the 1936 Berlin Games, 2 Japanese pole vaulters tied for second place. Instead of competing again, they cut the silver and bronze medal in half and fused them together, so each was half silver and half bronze.
Oh.
It's kind of cool. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The winner of the first modern Olympics marathon stopped at a tavern mid-race and had a glass of wine.
Oh, that's funny.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Sweat does not stink. It's the bacteria on your skin that you're actually smelling. That's what causes the odor. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Bees know when it's going to rain, so they put a lot of extra work in the day before. So if you see bees working really hard,
busy as a bee.
Probably going to rain the next day, according to this. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Colorblind people have better night vision.
Really?
I know some colorblind people. I didn't know that about them. So now we got something to chat about next time we get together. Several fun facts. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
It's rad. It's bad. It's 80s. The coolest rock vacation of the summer. Retromania Live. August 21st through 25th, the Mansion Theater. Starring Vince Neil, Bobby Brown, Casey and the Sunshine Band, Night Ranger, Tom Kiefer, Tiffany, Lou Graham, Pauly Shore, celebrity autograph signings, costume parties, and more. Single day tickets on sale now at RetromaniaLive.com. Produced by Branson Star Entertainment.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 12% of people say this smell makes them happy. I bet it does for you. This smell makes you happy. What is it?
Fresh cut grass.
Close. The fresh part. Fresh sheets, like clean sheets.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, of course it does. It should make you happy. Only 12% said that it made them happy, but I bet the rest of you kind of like it too. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of Mintervention.com. Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference, even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com. Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. One of Oscar Mayer's famed hot dog-shaped Wienermobiles ended up flipped onto its side.
I saw this.
Yeah, crashing in a Chicago area. Police say the Wienermobile hit a car. It says Monday morning. This was like 2 weeks ago or maybe 3 weeks ago. It's been a bit ago. Driver lost control, causing it to roll onto its side. No injuries reported after the crash. Prompted the closure of the right lane of the northbound lane for more than an hour. Video from the scene shows the yellow and orange Wienermobile being hauled away on a flatbed truck with damage visible to the Wiener-shaped vehicle. Oscar Mayer has several Wienermobiles, which they use as promotional events. I believe it's 12, to be quite honest. So, and I guess Wonder Bread has Bun-mobiles, too. And I'm reading that they have 4 of those. So, interesting stuff. And if you want to see a photo of that, I've got it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. What are you wearing? What is the worst message to send to a potential online match? Apparently, that's one of them. Conducted by a dating app called Breeze. So we'll do number 10. It says, I think my Spotify is broken. You're not listed as the hottest new single. What?
Whoa.
That was something that was sent
That
to
is
somebody.
lame.
Number 9. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? 34% said, yeah, we get stuff like that. I don't even know what this stands for, so I'm not even going to read it, but it's something weird. Number 7 is you are so sexy. Number 6, you're so hot, HAWT. Number 5, without me, in a response to somebody saying, I'm going to go take a shower or something like that. Again, these are dumb things that people say on dating apps. Number 4, do you like bad boys or do you like bad girls? Number 3, hey, sexy, what's your number? So that's the number 3 thing that people dislike getting. Number 2 is just an emoji. I bet you can guess which one. It's the eggplant emoji. 44%. Were like,
I cannot tell you how happy I am. I don't have to deal with any of this.
And then the number 1 most objectionable thing, 45% of people said, I hate it when I'm on a dating app and they're like, send pics. That's what they say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. The list brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit GenesisGoldIRA.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of RadioSavings.com. Our quote today is from Robert Brault, who says, most of us don't need a psychiatric therapist as much as a friend to be silly with.
That's
So,
true.
it is true. And here's the thing. I have several friends that are comedians, and there are some times when they're telling jokes, I'm thinking, they might actually need some help. I have one guy that I literally had a conversation with him afterwards. I'm like, you okay? Is everything good?
Yeah,
He's
right.
like, some of his stuff got like really dark for a while.
That's
and he was
too
like, no,
bad.
I'm just having fun. I'm like, okay, just want to make sure. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news. I think this is good news. Really kind of a cool story. Comes your way, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. Here's a headline. He couldn't drink a glass of water for 35 years, but now he
What?
can. In a remarkable medical breakthrough, a man who struggled with the simple task of even drinking a glass of water is now able to do some things because of a life-changing insulinus surgery. I don't know if I said that right. Gold Coast University Hospital has become the first Australian public hospital to offer this innovative procedure for individuals with disabling neurological conditions, and they have like tremors the whole time. So he's like the whole time he was shaking.
Oh.
They had a non-invasive procedure. It utilized MRI technology to precisely locate and treat an area in his brain that was triggering the specific movement disorder symptoms.
Really?
More than 1,000 ultrasound beams intersect at a single point, creating a tiny lesion on the brain. This disruption of abnormal brain activity significantly reduces the tremors, offering patients newfound control over their movement. So this gentleman, Neville Waterstrom, a patient who had suffered from essential tremors for 30 years, shared his transformative experience. And there's video on here, and there's a video of him taking a drink of water, and you should see how happy he is to be able to do something like that.
Does this work for Parkinson's?
It doesn't say specifically on here what it does or doesn't do, but I do have a link to it. It's in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. So this is fascinating. I think this is really,
That's
really neat.
Wonderful.
And Heidi was asking about Parkinson's because her dad, Charlie, we talked to him on Tuesdays with Charlie. He has Parkinson's. And something that he's done recently, and again, I don't know that this is going to work for everybody, but he's got a bracelet that he's wearing that has made a huge difference in his life. It has been amazing to watch
Absolutely.
that. And if you'd like to know more about that, reach out and I'll gladly connect you with that. If you'd like to know more about this surgery thing that was done in Australia, I've got a link to that in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show.